Pas de soleil, pas de soleil, pas de soleil, da-da-da. Pas de soleil, pas de soleil, pas de soleil, da-da-da.
Okay, so I just wanted to give a little bit of context for this reading before we get started. So if you're asking about a celebrity crush, I already did a reading on that. So this reading is more of, maybe someone you work with, someone you go to school with, someone that you know in like your day-to-day life, or someone from your past, not necessarily like a celebrity or someone famous, but I'll make sure to put that other reading down in the description box just in case you missed it. So today we're going to be looking at what it would be like to date your crush, but if you're asking about a celebrity, I do recommend the other reading that I already filmed. Alright, so let's get into it. Hey Group 1, welcome to your reading. So let's go ahead and get into it. What will it be like to date your crush? Group 1, a big thank you to my guides and your guides for coordinating these messages. A lot of my decks are packed away because I'm getting ready to move. So we are going to be using mostly tarot decks today because I have my like little mini holder, so I'm just going to be using the decks that fit into this holder for like the next week or so. Okay, Group 1, what would it be like to date your crush? Group 1, please, Spirit. Okay, we've got the Page of Wands. So definitely like a very fun energy to start off with. The Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, this person would be very spontaneous, very like go with the flow, someone who would initiate things though. So this would be someone who would say like, hey, do you want to go for a hike today? Or they might text you on a random Saturday and say like, hey, are you down to go to brunch this morning? Like, they definitely reach out to you kind of out of the blue and say like, hey, do you want to get coffee? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? They definitely invite you out a lot for activities. They initiate dates, and they may not give you a ton of warning. They may say like, hey, are you free tomorrow, or are you free later today? And that's just their personality. Like, they don't think too much about it. They're like, hey, I'm in the mood for tacos. Do you want to go get tacos? Like, they're just very much someone who's connected to the present moment. And so if you're more of a planner, or you like to know things like far in advance, like you need time to prepare for whatever reason, maybe that's your personality, that might be a little bit of a conflict. But if you're someone who likes spontaneity, you like someone who's fun, someone who is, like very in the present moment, then this person would be a really good match for you. So, just take whatever message resonates here, because you know your personality and what works for you. But yeah, they're very like do things very spur of the moment. And I will say, like, don't think that Like if they reach out to you and say like, hey, are you down to do this tomorrow? Don't think that's them not putting in a lot of effort or anything like that. It's just their personality. Like they're very spontaneous, and if they're in the mood to do something, they just do it. So this is a person of action. And they definitely are quite adventurous as well. So I feel like you would do a lot of activities with this person. Like this isn't someone who just wants to go out to a movie or go to dinner, you know, something where you just sit. You know, like this person likes to be very active. So you might do those things with them, but you would be doing other things as well. Like outdoor activities. We've got the Magician. Some of you are trying to manifest this person, you know, wanting to date you, but I feel like this is kind of alluding to this idea that this person likes to stay busy, they like to stay on the go, they like to stay active, and they are someone who likes to, because they don't really like to sit still, and so they kind of have their hand in many things like all at once. And so yeah, this person isn't the type to like go to work, go home, sit on the couch, and that's their day. Like that's just not how they are. So they might go to the gym after work, and so they might be, I don't know, like they just always have plans, they always have something going on. We've got the 10 of Cups. Yeah, they always have something going on, and like if you were dating them, yeah, they would be busy, but because they like to stay busy, it's like for them that's normal. So they're not going to be like run down, tired all the time because they're doing too much. Like that's just what they like. They like to stay active, and this is someone who has a lot of energy. I don't care how old they are. They have the energy of, you know, like a, I don't know, I would say like a teenager, but I feel like teenagers can be really moody, but they have the energy of a young person, okay? Yeah, and they are definitely someone that you could build a future with the 10 of Cups. Like if you're interested in something long term, there's definitely a potential for that here. You know, with the Magician and the 10 of Cups, like this is very positive energy. And with the Wheel of Fortune, this could be someone that you were meant to meet. This is someone that you were meant to cross paths with. There's a reason why you have a desire, or you feel a magnetic pull to this person. There's a reason why you have a crush on them. So it could be Spirit telling us that like this person is meant to be in your life. This is someone that you like make memories with. Like they are just someone who you have a lot of experiences with and a lot of adventures. And this is also someone I'm hearing that enjoys traveling. With the 5 of Cups here, I don't feel like this person is a lot like the type that you have dated in the past. I do feel like this person brings in a new, fresh energy. We have the Knight of Cups. I will say as well, I feel like when this person says they're going to do something, they do follow through with it. So even though they have this kind of like high energy, like to be busy, like to be doing many things at one time, I feel like for them that's their comfort zone. So they're used to handling a lot of things all at one time. And so they're, you know, like if they make a date with you and they say like we're going to do this thing, then you guys do it. You know, they're not flaky. They're not flaky. And with the Knight of Cups, this person too, especially with the Page of Wands, like they really wear their heart on their sleeve. And so I think especially if you tend to be like an intuitive person, you're definitely going to be able to read this person's signals, their nonverbal like body cues, you know, like what's between the lines of like what they're actually saying. I feel like you can read this person like a book. And I feel like that's a good thing, because while, you know, the mystery and the fun and the excitement of like, you know, dating someone new can be like a thrill, I think for you with this 5 of Cups coming out, that's just not what you're interested in. You're like, yes, like I want passion, I want depth, I want intimacy, I want all of that good stuff. But at the end of the day, I want someone that I can trust, someone that I feel safe with, and I don't really want someone who's going to keep me guessing. Like, like I'm not here to play games and do all that nonsense. Like, some of you I'm hearing are like, I'm too old for that. I'm not interested in that. Been there, done that. Just, Okay. We have the Star card. Yeah, this person is definitely going to put in effort. I just feel like their effort may not be like immediately apparent. And I think that's because they're like that spur of the moment. And so maybe if you are still in like a healing phase, or if you still have your guard up a bit, a little voice in the back of your mind may say, are they reaching out to me to schedule this date because other plans fell through? Or, like, why is it so last minute? Like, some of you may question that, but I feel like Spirit really wants to provide this reassurance to you that that's just their personality. Like, they really are just that spontaneous. And, they're just not like a long-term planner in that way. And so, don't feel like they're not putting in effort, because I feel like once you actually go out on the date and you see like how much fun it is, and you're like, oh wow, like I'm so glad that you thought of this activity. I'm so glad that you, like researched this a bit, because I just feel, maybe researched isn't the quite the right word to use. It's like they put thought into what they think you two will enjoy doing together. That's a better way of explaining it. But yeah, I mean, they also will be someone who is very emotionally supportive of you, because I'm hearing holding space. So this is someone who will emotionally support you by being there, by listening, by being like a constant, steady presence. And when you need them, they're there for you. They're not the type to give like practical advice or like you need to do this, that, and the third. They more of just listen to you. And I think they ask really like thoughtful questions that help you to arrive at understanding what you need to do rather than just telling you what to do. They help you get there on your own. I hope that makes sense. All right, we have the Ace of Pentacles. So they will definitely probably be the type to pay for things, and I feel like they're not stingy with their money, okay? And to them, it's not a big deal. Like, it's not a big deal for them to buy you a coffee or to pay for the tickets to go somewhere, or, they're not sitting there being like, I need gas money. Like, that's not their vibe. Yeah, 10 of Pentacles. This person is like financially stable, or they're at least good at budgeting their money. And I feel like this person is very active. They're very busy. They're like go, 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 go. And, like they prioritize that in their budget. Like this isn't someone who, for example, has like spent so much money on their car or their living situation to the point to where they're like house poor. Or like car poor. And so like they have enough money in their budget to go out and do fun things, because that's something that they value. Like they like to stay busy, they like to have fun, and yeah, like they have budgeted for that. So they're not looking at you, like, hey, I need you to spot me some money for gas, or like, anything like that. And especially if they're reaching out to you to say like, hey, do you want to go do this thing with me? Then in their mind, they're responsible for paying, especially because they invited you out. That's just their attitude. This person's like that also just in general in their life. Like they're very giving. Sorry, I just hit this book. They're very giving to their friends, to their family. They're just not a stingy person. Like they're not stingy with their time. They're not stingy with their money. Like that's just not how they are. With the 9 of Wands here, this person is someone that you could count on in the long run. So there is like a potential here for longevity in this connection if you want it. Like if you were to start dating this person and things were going well, and you were interested in a long-term partnership, I feel like both of you would be putting in mutual effort because there's a sense of reciprocity here. Now, the effort might be different. You know, like maybe they like to pay for things or they like to buy you gifts and that's how they put in effort. We definitely have talked a lot about them initiating, spending time together. So that would be another way they would be putting in effort towards you. We've talked a bit about emotional support and holding space. So I think you would also be giving to the connection, maybe in different ways. But I feel like at the end of the day, it would be clear that both of you are invested, right? Okay, let's see. Anything more about like what it would be like to date this person? We'll get maybe like 2 more cards from this deck. Whoa, 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 whoa. Sorry. Okay, we have the Emperor. This person might be an Aries. They might be an Aries. This is someone I feel like who likes to take the lead on things. And so it's not that they're controlling, they're not controlling, but because they have all of this like energy, right? And I kind of get the vibe here, especially with the 10 of Pentacles, maybe they're used to calling the shots like in their professional life. So maybe they're a manager or a supervisor, or they own their own business, or, you know, they just get paid a lot for what they do. And so they hold a position of like respect, you know, like maybe like a doctor would, something like that. And so like that kind of like that dynamic may bleed into other areas of their life. Like they're just used to being the one who makes decisions. And so they, again, like I feel like that's kind of speaking to that idea that they will initiate things, you know, like they will kind of set the pace here. And it's not that they wouldn't be willing to make adjustments based upon your comfort level, but I feel like this person kind of sees it, especially if they are a masculine here, they kind of see it as like, well, it's on me to ask them out. It's on me to make that follow-up contact after the first date. It's on me. You know, like they kind of take almost like accountability for the dates themselves. You know, they're like, it's on me to pick that person up. It's on me to pay for things. It's on me to... So like they can just kind of take on that role, and I hope I'm explaining it well, but it's kind of like traditionally masculine energy that I'm picking up on here. Yeah, and I mean, their gender doesn't matter, but if you think about masculine energy, like being the one that is like an initiator, the one who is in, I guess the one who is pursuing, you know? So it's like, you may have a crush on them right now, but I kind of feel like they would be the one to ask you out on that first date rather than you asking them out. That's just what I'm picking up on, okay? May not apply for everyone, but just reading what I see here. I also feel like for some of you, this is a more specific message, but for some of you, this person could be like the eldest sibling, or they could be like the golden child, or they were the only child, and that's also kind of why there's like this dynamic of them being first and them taking on like just this responsibility in general in their life. Okay, we've got the 9 of Cups. For some of you, like, all of this sounds good. This is like a wish come true. Like, yes, I want someone fun, someone spontaneous. I want someone who's going to put in effort. Like, all of these things I'm saying are like right on the money for some of you guys. And with that energy of reciprocity that we were picking up on earlier, I feel like, you know, this person as well would look at you, you know, in that manner, like this is exactly what I've been wanting. And we did get messages here about there being a potential here for this to turn into a long-term connection, so that's really good to see. Okay. You may also end up going on a date with this person that's like your dream date. So maybe some of you have always wanted to do like a weekend getaway to the mountains with a partner, or maybe some of you have always wanted to go to like an amusement park and you think that would be like a really cute date, something like that. Like, oh, I've always wanted to go to the botanical garden, or I've always wanted to do a beach getaway, something like that. Let's see, what would it be like to date your crush here? Oh man. The Knight of Wands. Yeah, this person really might be a Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius. I feel like you're going to have a lot of fun with this person, a lot of inside jokes. I feel like there's not a lot of quiet or dull moments or like awkward pauses that stretch on forever in the conversation. I feel like this is someone you can be really chatty with. I feel like the conversation's just gonna flow. I'm seeing people flirt with each other. And like, you know how when you're flirting with someone, you might like touch their arm, you know, and it's like there's no need for you to touch their arm, but you know, it's kind of like that, like sneaky, like, oh, let me just touch your shoulder, that kind of thing. Yeah, there's something also very sweet about this. It feels just very playful. I wonder if you two are friends right now. Yeah, there's just so much love. There's so much love here, and I feel like there's a lot of physical attraction. There's a sense of infatuation. Someone might be falling head over heels. There's a sense of things just coming together. There's a sense of easiness to this, and like, I feel like if you're not careful, you could like really fall hard really quickly, or they could fall hard really quickly, and things could just move at a fast pace because it just feels natural, it just feels easy, it just feels fun. But then there's also that emotional depth that we were picking up on. So it's like the best of both worlds. Like you get that passion, you get that playfulness, that excitement, butterflies kind of feeling, but then there's also this emotional depth coming through and this understanding, which is really, really nice. And I also feel like this person would invite you on things that involve their friends or their close family members. Not maybe early on, but like if you were to date them and things were starting to progress, I feel like they would say like, hey, like, do you want to come and get drinks with my friends? Or like, hey, like my friend is having like a barbecue, something like that. Or like, oh, you know, like my family's doing a get together, that kind of thing. I feel like they would really involve you. Yeah, I'm also hearing for some of you, like if this person has a pet, they could invite you to like the dog park or something like that. Because I do feel like this person, it would be important to them that you would get along with their pet. That might be your energy that I'm picking up on. But for some of you, it's them. Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, they see you in a lot of ways as like their equal match. Like, they see you as someone that they would have to come correct, I'm hearing, towards, like whatever that means. They see you as someone who doesn't put up with nonsense. You don't put up with, like, they just see you as someone where, like, not putting in effort wouldn't be tolerated. Like they see you as someone who has standards, as someone who has self-respect. And there's a feeling of like, if I were to go there with you, I would have to do right by you. And I know that anything less than that just would not be accepted or tolerated. Like there's just this feeling of like, group one isn't going to put up with any mess. Like group one is a queen or a king all on their own. Like they're not trying to fall over themselves to like seek my approval. Like even if you have a crush on this person, like if they were to start acting in a way that was like disrespectful to you or just like manipulative or anything like that, you're like, you know what, at the end of the day, all I need is me, myself, and I. And you know, in terms of a romantic partner, it's better to be alone than it is to be disrespected. So I'm good on my own little island over here. I will date myself if it comes to that. You know, like at the end of the day, like I'm going to treat myself well and take care of myself. And, you know, if it ever got to a point to where I was having to like sacrifice my peace for you, no. And so, you know, there's just that kind of energy of like, I'm not stepping off my pedestal. And so even if I have a crush on you, even if I'm into you, I'm not going to devalue myself for your benefit. I'm not going to do that. And so I feel like this person like senses that about you or recognizes that, or if they were to get to know you better, they would sense that about you, that like, you know, group one isn't someone that you could, you know, you can't break their heart and expect them to just take it in stride, you know, like you're not going to tolerate, you know, someone treating you poorly. Like there's not an energy here of like you feeling desperate, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Okay, let's get some messages from this person, and then that will wrap up your reading. Okay, we have I am not available, but it came in reverse. So you guys could be asking about someone who is like getting out of something. So this could be someone who is getting out of a relationship, someone who is like healing or processing from something, or someone, it could be again speaking to that idea of them being like really busy. And so it's just a matter of timing with this. Like, when is the right time for this crush to become something that's real and solid? It's a matter of timing, I'm hearing. Okay. And then we were gonna get 2 more cards, so that's too many. We have, I'm starting to understand our connection, and it actually came out sideways, which is kind of funny. I usually don't pay attention to that, you know, if a card comes out sideways, but I kind of like that because it's almost like, what's the third card? Because now we're like building a bridge here. So things are starting to develop, right? So they're starting to come to terms, or starting to realize that they could have feelings for you. So a crush on you could be developing. That came out so fast. I hope the camera caught that. I'm not sure if it did, but oh, I'm sorry, a piece of my hair. Gross. Okay. We have I love you unconditionally. And I was just talking about this card being like the gap, like the bridge that would like close this gap. Oh my gosh. See, this is why I love to shuffle on camera, because you guys can see this kind of stuff in real time. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, I love you unconditionally. So there's definitely, like I said, potential here for this to turn into a long-term, committed, solid relationship. You know, if you're interested in that, you could build a future with this person. I think honestly it's a matter of timing and where they're at in this thought process, okay? But I mean, definitely speak up, you know, as this whole thing sort of, I guess, unfolds. You know, don't feel afraid to say like, hey, I want to slow this down, or if it's moving too fast for you, or if they're not being clear about their feelings, like I need more clarity, I need you to be straight with me, or tell me what you're looking for. Like, don't feel afraid to be honest with this person, because especially if they're Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, they will appreciate that, okay? They will appreciate you just being straight with them. And like I said, I do feel like you're going to be able to read this person like a book. So I don't think it's going to be a problem for you to kind of suss out, you know, like where they're at across these stages, okay? So group 1, this was your reading. Thank you so much for letting me do it for you. And if you want more crush readings, let me know in the comments, and I will see you in my next one. Please take care. Okay, so I just wanted to give a little bit of context for this reading before we get started. So if you're asking about a celebrity crush, I already did a reading on that. So this reading is more of, maybe someone you work with, someone you go to school with, someone that you know in like your day-to-day life, or someone from your past, not necessarily like a celebrity or someone famous, but I'll make sure to put that other reading down in the description box just in case you missed it. So today we're going to be looking at what it would be like to date your crush, but if you're asking about a celebrity, I do recommend the other reading that I already filmed. Alright, so let's get into it. Hi Group 2, welcome to your reading. Like I was telling Group 1, most of my decks are packed away because I am moving soon. So we're going to be using 2 tarot decks today and just 1 oracle deck. And you'll probably see me using the same decks in a couple of readings for a while until I get settled in. But anyway, Group 2. What would it be like to date your crush? What do we need to know? Group 2, dating your crush. Woo! Okay, we've got the Page of Cups coming out. That's so sweet. Group 1 started off with the Page of Wands, so I love that you have the Page of Cups. We have the Judgment card. We have the King of Pentacles. So this King of Pentacles may represent your crush. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo energy, masculine energy. So you can take that as confirmation that you chose the right group, but they don't have to be that zodiac sign. There's a lot of you watching. Okay, and we also have the 8 of Wands. Okay, and let's see here. Bottom of the deck, we have the Devil card. So they really could be a Capricorn here. It's so cute. I feel like, okay, if this person hasn't expressed to you that they have feelings for you, I feel like they do. There's just this sense of like hesitancy here with them. And with the Devil card, it's making me kind of feel like, A, you might work with this person, but also it's making me feel like both of you have like these mutual feelings for each other. But with the chains here, it's like, I don't want to make the first move. I don't want to make it awkward if they don't reciprocate. So, if you haven't like gotten any indication that this person is into you, they are. Like they're into you on the low. They just may not have shared it. But when they do, and I do feel like they would be the one to, with this Page of Cups, like eventually admit feelings. I feel like they would be the first to do so. Or on the other hand, if they're not the first to do so, when they finally do cop to feelings for you, it would just be, and this is gross, I'm sorry, but it would be like word vomit. It would just like all come tumbling out all at once. And I feel like this person doesn't typically get in their feelings a lot. Like they're not a super overly emotional, person. And so for them to say this, it's just, there's a sense of like awkwardness there. Like they're not comfortable typically expressing how they feel, especially when it comes to matters of the heart and romance. And so it's just like, they don't know how to express it, So it would just all come tumbling out. Again, like word vomit, like just, yeah. I mean, it makes them feel... This person likes to feel on top of things. Like they like to feel safe. They like to feel in charge. Not in like a controlling way, but just because I feel like this person is quite successful, or they're quite, they're kind of like a put together person. And so in terms of like how they feel about you, emotions are messy. And so like that's just a harder thing for them, to kind of get into. Now I am going to get into like what it would be like to date this person, but I kind of felt like I just had to share that with you, that if you think they have no interest in you, they actually do. They actually do. It's just like self-limiting beliefs, that's holding them back from just saying how they feel. And with Judgment here, I mean, there could be, kind of like this soulmate connection, you know, like there's a reason why you feel drawn to this person. This person may come into your life or has come into your life as a result of like good karma on your part. So let's just continue. I also am hearing that for some of you, they may say how they feel about you over the phone. That may be the first way that they express it to you. For some of you, this could be a long distance connection that you're asking about. I do feel like you would travel. If you dated this person, you would travel with them. They would take you on trips. They also, though, this is so cute because group 1 had the same message of it being like an equal match. Yeah, they definitely see you as someone who would be very compatible with them, and they see a lot of similarities within themselves with you. And I do feel like you two would get along in terms of the dating process, like how fast things move. I feel like you guys would be, I just keep hearing you would be on the same page. So you would be on the same page about the pacing of the dates, you know, like how frequently you two see each other, how much communication there is between you two, the sort of dates that you would go on. Like, what are your preferences? Because this person would equally match those preferences. Like, you guys share the same preferences when it comes to dating. And I also feel like this person isn't clingy. They would be able to give you space when you need space, but they would also give you attention when you need attention. Like, yeah, I'm just hearing you're on the same page. It's not, I feel like the messiness comes from like admitting feelings, but like once you started dating, it would be a lot smoother. I wonder if there's something else going on. Like if you two work together, I could see why there would be hesitancy about expressing feelings, that sort of thing. So there may be some other influencing factor that's keeping them from saying how they feel about you. Aw, so this person might like some PDA, or I could see them like sneaking a kiss, you know, like if you were walking into a movie theater, you know how there's like the little front area and then you walk down a hall, and so when you turn the corner, you walk up or walk down the stairs, whatever, to get to the seats. It's like, okay, I'm gonna sneak a kiss before we get out into the open again where people could see us. It's like, I don't know, I feel like they might like hold your hand under the table, or, you know, things like that. Just like, it's like PDA but sneaky, you know? It's like PDA but not PDA. It's so funny sometimes, the messages that come through. Oh man, this is so funny. They may feel like you have a lot of other suitors, or you have other people who are trying to get with you. I don't know why they feel this way. I feel like they would be surprised or shocked to hear that you have a crush on them. That's the kind of vibe that I'm getting. And don't take this the wrong way, but I feel like there's a part of them that kind of looks at you like you would be you would be like high maintenance, but not in like an insulting way. Not in a bad way, but just like they would look at you as someone like, oh, you have to take them to a nice place. You know, like this isn't someone you take to the food court in the mall for a date. You know, like it's not, you know, it's not like that. I don't know. They just see you as someone who deserves like quality, you know, and you are someone who is used to that. Like they think that you're used to that standard. You may have dated jerks in the past, okay? But this is just how they see you, okay? Yeah, they do. Okay, this person, I feel like they are already trying to impress you, but maybe you don't see it or you don't recognize it. But I do feel like they are already trying to impress you. You guys may start dating sooner than you realize, because it's kind of interesting the way that your reading is unfolding. It's not as direct as group 1. Yeah, I feel like someone might be on the cusp here of admitting feelings, or it's like something's gotta give because there's a lot of like underlying sexual tension going on. And I feel like this person as well, like when you date them, there's almost like this attitude of like, you need to pay tribute. You know, like how you pay tribute to like a king or a queen, like you gotta come with some sort of offering. So there's this idea that like if this person is showing up at your door for a date, they're not showing up empty-handed. So they might bring you flowers, they might bring you just some sort of token of their affection, like, you know, what are you into? Because it might be something that's personalized to you. So, you know, like for me, I love to read. So if I were dating this person, they would bring like a book or something. So like something that's personal to you. Maybe you love plants, and so maybe they would bring you, I don't know, like a succulent or something. But it would be something that's like specific to your interests. Because I do feel like, yeah, it's like I can't just do the bare minimum, you know, like this person needs extra. So they look at you as like someone who, you can't just come with a cake. You got to come with the cake with the cherry on top. Like you got to go a little bit above and beyond for this person, you group 2. They definitely put you on a pedestal. I mean, maybe that's why they feel like, because I don't feel like this person is typically insecure or anything like that. Yeah, it could be that maybe they have had their heart broken in the past and that like shook their confidence, but, or maybe they just see you as being a bit aloof, and maybe that's because you don't want them to find out you have a crush. Yeah, there's so many messages here about them just hesitating or like going back and forth or agonizing over how to tell you how they feel or whether they should even do it at all. Yeah. There might be a confession coming soon. Oh, with the Strength card here. Yeah, like they might just have to man up or woman up and just, you know, come clean soon. They may start to realize that. Let's get some more messages, please, Spirit, about what it would be like to date them, because I want to get back on topic here. We've got the 8 of Swords. They might, this energy of them like second guessing themselves may come up, and I feel like the way that that would manifest is they may check in with you a lot and say like, are you sure you're okay with like going to a Mexican restaurant? Or are you sure you're cool with getting hibachi? Are you sure that's what you're in the mood for? Are you sure that you want to go, I don't know. I'm trying to think. Are you sure you want to go to the aquarium? Are you sure that you're into that? You know, you don't have to. Just because I suggested it, you don't have to. Like, there may be, like, they might check in a lot with you or say, like, are you sure it's okay that I kissed you last night? Are you sure it's okay? Is it okay if I hold your hand? Like, that may be like a process with them. Like, you might need to be a little bit patient, because I feel like this person really tries to respect your comfort zone. I mean, group 1's person was just like total fire sign energy, like just kind of spontaneous and like just going all in and not really thinking much about stuff. But I feel like your person is a lot more conscientious. Is that how you pronounce that word? They're very considerate. They're very considerate, and they, yeah, like they just want to make sure that you're comfortable. There's definitely like a cozy energy to this person. They might have a little bit of like mom or dad vibes, but they just want to make sure that you feel safe, that you feel comfortable, and they never... This person's a gentleman. They're a gentleman, or they are a gentle lady, okay? Like, they're very polite towards you. They don't want to cross any lines, and if you work with this person, this 110% makes a lot of sense to me. Or if there's some other kind of circumstance going on, because I feel like there's more to the story about why it's such a, like, I can't confess feelings, like, what's going on? You know, like, there's something there. But anyway, so I feel like they just check in with you a lot, and they just want to make sure that they're not doing anything that's going to you know, make you unhappy in any way or put you in a bad position or make you feel uncomfortable. Yeah, this person is very much focused on making sure that you feel safe, and maybe that's because you have had a bad dating history, or maybe you are a bit emotionally like guarded, or maybe you have, you know, it's like some triggers because of how past partners have treated you, and so maybe they're just mindful of that. With the Six of Pentacles here, they're very giving, and there's just this feeling here of they want to make sure as well that if they are dating you, if they're with you, that you are as into them as they are into you, because I feel like there's some aspect of them that's a little bit gun shy. Maybe they've been hurt too, but they're not trying to mess around and get their heart stomped all over. You know, like they're not trying to do that either, no matter how into you they are. With the Three of Cups here, I do feel like this is the type of person where they will ask their friends, like, what do you think about this? Or, you know, they said this, is that, you know what I mean? Like, they may go to their friends to, like, interpret things, like, or to get feedback, or they may introduce you to their friends, and what their friends have to say about you is important to them. I do feel like this person has a close social circle. It may not be a large one, but they have people in their life that they really trust, and so if they've been burned in the past, they may question their own judgment when it comes to love. And so if they were dating you, they might want to get like another opinion from like a third party, like objective outsider opinion, like, hey, like, what do you think about this? You know, because they may just have some lingering like trust issues, not with you, but with themselves and their own judgment. Like, they don't want to miss any red flags, so they may just ask their friends, like, do you see any red flags? Because I'm not, but I'm very much like infatuated with group 2. I'm falling in love with them, or I'm so into them, I don't want to mess around, you know, and get my heart stomped all over. So I don't know, like maybe it's just a mutual energy with both of you of like, you know, been burned in the past, not looking to repeat that, you know, that kind of energy. With the Three of Wands here, yeah, there's just this energy of like, I can see where it could go. I can see the potential here. I can see how things could progress between us. I could see a relationship with group 2. But do I want to go there with group 2? Do I want to risk getting my heart broken? Do I want to risk ruining whatever current dynamic we have? Like, what, again, like what if it makes things awkward? I keep hearing that over and over again. Like, they have a real concern about that. Like, they don't want things to be awkward between you two. Okay, let's see. I want to go back. I didn't use this deck for group 1, but I want to use the Alice deck for you all. What would it be like to date group 2's crush? For group 2, we've got the King of Cups. Yeah, there's a feeling here though, like once this whole like angsty period is over, and like, you know, if you guys like were to date and, you know, it's agreed upon, there's like mutual feelings here, I feel like then this person would start to give into the romance of it all, but there's a feeling there of them holding back in the beginning. So maybe on your very first date, they might be a little bit more reserved with you. They may hold back a bit, but I feel like once you guys have been on a couple of dates, that's when they would start being like very affectionate with you, giving you lots of compliments, openly expressing that they're into you, you know, and doing, you know, some of the sneaky PDA that we were picking up on, temperance. It's like, yeah, they would start to come out of their shell a lot more, and they wouldn't be in their head as much. And I feel like, you know, if you can get past that like initial stage with them where they may just be a little bit awkward, a little bit more reserved, then I think things would flow really well between you two, and you could build a solid foundation together. Yeah, Ten of Swords. This person's just shy about how they feel. I feel like that's just the one area where they're like this, and it's because of what they've been through. And I might have called that the King of Cups. Now we have the King of Cups. That's the Knight of Cups. I may have misspoken there. Yeah, there's a feeling there. You see how the King is holding those cards? It's like, I don't want to show my hand too early, but now you got the Queen of Cups. Again, like another matching pair. Like, you two have so much potential here for compatibility and really being in alignment with each other, both in terms of like romantic feelings, your disposition, your goals, that kind of thing. But it's just like, I feel like maybe in the beginning they may try to like play it cool, like even after they have like that word vomit of like confession, then they may try to like backtrack on it, or they may feel like they said too much or they admitted to too much, and then they may try to like pull back their energy a bit, or they don't want to come on too strong. I feel like they just are in their head a lot, and if you were dating them, like in that beginning stage, they would just second guess themselves too much, and that's why they check in with you so much, because it's like, I don't want to show all my cards. I don't want to put all my cards out on the table and say like, this is how I feel about you too soon. Like, I don't want to scare you off. Like, I feel like this person has no clue or like no idea of how you feel. Like, they're not realizing that, or they're not picking up on that, like, you know. And it's like, even with the way they're looking at each other, like, this person is so focused on their feelings. Like, if these cards were their feelings, they're so focused on it, right? Like, look at where his gaze is going. Whereas this Queen of Cups is looking directly at this King of Cups. Like, you have your eye on them, because this really feels like their energy to me. You have your eye on them, and gender doesn't matter here, but they're just not seeing it. They're not seeing that you are here trying to offer this cup, you know, because they are, I think, just in their head too much about it. Yeah. But I feel like that would get better with time. You know, it's just them realizing, and maybe it's because like you're not that emotive, or you haven't given any indication that you're into them. Maybe you have, you know, maybe you're just like that, like you're just good at holding back your feelings, or maybe you have resting you-know-what face, you know, and you just haven't given them any time of day, but, you know, you're into them from afar kind of thing. I don't know, but this is what I see. Let's pick up some messages. If they could say something to you now, what would they say? Group 2. We have, I know that I crossed the line with you. Okay, so maybe they did something. Maybe you guys really do work together. Maybe they did something where they feel like they were inappropriate towards you, but they don't know that you're into them, and that's why it was inappropriate. Because remember, like, we kept getting that message over and over again of like wanting to respect your boundaries, wanting to respect your space, your comfort level, all of that. So maybe something has happened that has caused that. We have, I left when I saw you with someone. I feel like this person has been cheated on in the past, and that's part of what has caused all of this kind of angst and indecisive energy about moving forward with any new partner, because they're afraid of missing red flags. They're afraid of not seeing it. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. Group 1 ended on this same message. I love you unconditionally. So yeah, I mean, there's a potential here for it to be like a loving relationship. Like, there's a potential here for it to turn into something. I think it's just a bit more of a journey than it was with group 1, but I feel like it's because there's really strong romantic feelings, but it's like just being repressed out of fear, and that's what it is. And maybe you feel the same way in some regard, but those feelings are still there. They're not going anywhere. And so you either choose to act upon them, or they choose to act upon them, or you don't. But the feelings the feelings are mutual. They are there. You know, it's just no one is copping to it, or no one is moving forward with those feelings. So yeah, group 2, this was your reading. I hope it brought you some clarity on this situation, because it does seem like it's a bit complicated, and I'm sure the details of it are going to vary, because it is a general reading, but it does feel like there's some interesting energies going on. I wish you the best of luck in this situation, and yeah, hopefully I see you all in my next one. Please take care, and of course, as always, I'm wishing you the very, very best. Okay, so I just wanted to give a little bit of context for this reading before we get started. So if you're asking about a celebrity crush, I already did a reading on that. So this reading is more of, you know, maybe someone you work with, someone you go to school with, someone that you know in like your day-to-day life, or someone from your past, not necessarily like a celebrity or someone famous, but I'll make sure to put that other reading down in the description box just in case you missed it. So today we're going to be looking at what it would be like to date your crush, but if you're asking about a celebrity, I do recommend the other reading that I already filmed. Alright, so let's get into it. Hi group 3, welcome to your reading. So like I was telling the other groups, I'm in the process of moving, so a lot of my stuff is packed up right now. So I'm kind of working with limited decks, but it'll all be alright. So we're going to be using mostly tarot today, but honestly that's my preference anyway. So let's get into it. Group 3, what would it be like to date your crush? Group 3. If you get a page card to start off your reading, I'm going to be so happy. I might have jinxed it, but... Oh, no, 10 of Cups. Okay, I'm even happier. That's way better than a page card. I only said that because Group 1 got the Page of Wands, and Group 2 got the Page of Cups to start off, and I was like, man, if Group 3 gets a page card, that's going to be so cute. Okay, 10 of Cups. Someone has some pretty deep feelings here. This isn't just a superficial level crush, but let's keep getting into it. Definitely with the 10 of Cups, I mean, there could be a potential here for this to turn into something real. We've got the 6 of Wands. Okay, someone is trying to win somebody over. Let's see. 2 of Cups. Oh my gosh. Okay, I think you all win. I think out of all the groups today, Group 3, you're the winner. Man, this is so positive. Oh, I love to see that. All right, we've got the 8 of Wands and the 2 of Swords here. Okay, this is kind of a feeling of like love at first sight, or soul recognition, or I know in my bones, like I just have like this gut feeling, this like meant to be kind of energy. Like there's a reason why you came into my life. And for some of you, I mean, this could be someone who came into your life unexpectedly, or you weren't looking and then you met this person, or this person entered, I'm hearing, your orbit. So maybe you know them through someone else. But it's like, wow, you know, like you weren't expecting, or maybe you haven't had a crush in a long time. For some of you, maybe you know this person online, or you know of them, because it may be, with the Six of Wands, maybe they have a bit of, like maybe they're a public figure in some way, like they have some kind of fame, or you've seen them on social media, that kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, wow, like there's a real potential here for you to have a healthy, happy, long-term, committed partnership. Yeah, wow. Okay, what would it be like to date this person? Let's get into it. We have the Nine of Pentacles. Okay. Yeah, someone's not sparing any expense here, so these would be like nice, luxurious dates, or dates where they kind of just go on and on and on. Like you go to like multiple places together, or you spend the whole day together, and just throughout the day. I got this message in another reading that I did, and I can't remember. I think it was like your next first date, but there was one group where it was like, you may end up realizing that they have spent a lot of money on you just because the date goes on for so long, and so you're like paying for lunch, and then you're paying for drinks, or like buying ice cream, or paying for parking here, paying for tickets here. And so it's like, because you spend the whole day together, that money adds up, and then maybe by the end of the date, when you're looking back on it, you're like, man, they paid for a lot of stuff today. You know? Yeah, so this person definitely will treat you financially. I mean, they will, you know, they'll spend some money, or they'll buy you some nice gifts. I feel like that's going to stand out to you because maybe you're not used to that. You've got the Magician here. I'm also hearing that this person will show you in multiple ways that they are invested, that they care about you. They will show you, I just keep hearing, in multiple ways. So part of that is the money that we were talking about. Part of it also with the Queen of Swords here, they will give you a lot of like words of affirmation. They will give you a lot of compliments, but they're not just like surface level compliments. They even if they're complimenting your physical beauty or attractiveness, they're picking out something specific that other people don't readily notice. I'll use myself as a personal example. And listen, like even myself, like obviously I guess I haven't been looking that closely at myself, but growing up I always thought I had brown eyes. But if you look closely at my eyes, and it was actually my ex's mother who initially pointed this out to me, but they're actually like a muddy, like dark green. Like I'm not saying they're the most attractive eyes, but it may be something like that. And it kind of like, when she said that, I was like, what are you talking about? And then I went home and I looked in the mirror and I was like, oh my God, she's right. My eyes really aren't brown. And like I just never really noticed it. So it may be something like that, where they point out something to you, or they may compliment some aspect of yourself that you don't typically notice. Like they may say like, you have really cute ears, and you're like, my ears? You know, it may be something like that where you're like, what? Or they may give you a really specific compliment, like, oh, you're such a good parent to your dog, or like, oh, like, wow, you really have a green thumb if you're like a plant mom or something. Yeah, like they may just give you like a really specific compliment that just makes you smile, because you're like, wow, they're like really paying attention. We have the Queen of Cups. Yeah, like they're doing it all. Like they're giving you, they're like, Okay, this person's like a little bit of a smooth talker, like they're quite charming and charismatic, but then also like emotionally they would show up for you. Like if you were dating them and let's say something, God forbid, kind of bad happens and you're like, you're really stressed. And they may say like, how can I help? You know, like even if they can't help with that specific situation. Oh, I have a wasp by the window. Okay, let's say there's a wasp in your apartment. They would come over and help you deal with that. Or if something bad happened and maybe, you know, there's nothing they can do, but they may say, you know, would it help if I brought you over food so you don't have to cook tonight? Or would it help if I drove you to the airport? You know, like they may just try to help in any way that they can, even if they can't fix the actual problem that you're having. I hope that makes sense. We have the death card. Yeah, when things are down, you know, when you're having difficulty with something, even in the dating stage, even when you're not in a committed relationship with them, King of Cups, they would show up for you. This person is so reliable. They're so reliable. And I feel like with the Five of Cups, that's going to mean the world to you because I feel like for a lot of you, you haven't had that before. You haven't had that before. And yeah, I feel like their thoughtfulness, it's the little things with this person, with the High Priestess, that really shows you this is someone who isn't just here for a good time and a short time, you know, like this is someone that, you know, it could be like the real deal with. It could be the real deal. It doesn't feel as emotionally kind of stressful as Group 2 did. Group 2 had like some kind of angsty, complicated situation going on. This feels a lot sweeter. This feels a lot more straightforward. It may not be as fun and adventurous, sorry, as Group 1, but it feels really solid. It feels really solid. Let's see. Yeah, I feel like it's the little things with this person, even just like going on a walk with this person, like just doing small things together is so emotionally fulfilling because it's them. So it's like, you're my favorite person to do stuff with. Like we could be going grocery shopping together and just making a meal at home as a date, and that feels like going to a 5-star restaurant with someone else. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's because it's them that makes it special. But like I said, they will be treating you to some really nice stuff. But I feel like even the little moments that you share really end up meaning a lot to you because they treat you so well and you feel so good around them. And even if you're having like this super crummy week, like everything else can be going to hell, and when you're with this person, like you just feel so calm, you feel so at ease, you feel a sense of rightness when you're with them. And I'm picking up on obviously like future energy here, but you know, it just gets easier sometimes to express it in that way. I feel like their honesty and their forthrightness with you make you feel like you don't have to hide and you don't have to present yourself in a certain way. And that level of like comfort with somebody, to feel that so quickly and so soon in the relationship or the connection, I feel like that's really special. You know, like that's something that's precious. It's not something that you feel with just anybody. And that's what helps this unfold. I'm hearing organically. Yeah. I feel like things make sense with this person. There's a lot of cuddling going on here, a lot of cuddling. It just feels very comforting energy. I feel like you two wouldn't just be lovers, you would be friends too. And I feel like because of that, you could really grow a lot with this person. I feel like you're gonna feel a sense of safety with them that you haven't felt with anyone else. And it's because of their honesty. And there's just something about their energy. So it may be like, it may be like their sense of humor, or maybe it's their tone of voice, or their body language, or the way that they say things. Like they could, like for example, maybe there's something that you know you need to do, but maybe you've been putting it off and everybody's been telling you the same thing, like group 3, you just need to go and get that done. And maybe you like ignore everyone, even though you know deep down they're right, but it just feels like everyone's nagging you and you feel attacked and you feel defensive. Again, just giving an example. And this person could just say, hey, group 3, you need to do this, but they say it in a way where it doesn't feel like a judgment, it doesn't feel like an attack, it doesn't put you on the defensive, and you're like, hey, no one's ever explained it to me that way before, no one's put it into those terms before, and then it just feels like, you're right, I should do that. You know, like it's just, they have this way of speaking to you and relating to you that puts you at ease, it makes you feel comforted, that makes you feel accepted rather than judged, and you don't feel like they're always pointing out your flaws or anything like that. It feels like they build you up rather than tear you down, which I think is really nice. They're very supportive, and they are, I think there's an aspect to them, like they can be a real romantic, and there's something about their energy, like you just feel a gravitational pull to this person, and there's a feeling there of like, what other options, you know, like once you know this person, once you know, if you were to date this person, I feel like everyone else, if you were talking to other people, they would just pale in comparison to this person's energy. There could be a possibility with marriage here. Look at the hat and the bouquet. Yeah, there could be a possibility for marriage here in the future. There's a feeling of like, I can see this going places, and I wanna take that trip with you. I wanna see where this goes. I'm curious. I feel like this person wants to know everything about you. They would ask you so many questions about yourself, but not in a way that felt intrusive. Like, if other people were asking you questions about your past and just questions about who you are as a person, for some of you, maybe you're guarded, and that would typically put you on the defensive, or maybe you're typically very private. I'm like that. I don't really like people asking me a lot of questions, you know, like about my personal business if I don't know them that well. But I feel like with this person, it doesn't come across that way, you know, like the way that you respond to other people is not, or how you typically respond to other people is not how you respond to this person, and it's because of the way they say things. It's not the content, it's the way that they ask those questions. It's their energy. Like, it doesn't seem like they're asking to be nosy. It seems like they really want to get to know you. They want to see you. They want to understand you. And it's like you're this beautiful mystery, and like I can't wait to solve it. I can't wait to know more. Or like you're a book that they're reading, and they're like, one more chapter, like one more page. Like they can't get enough of you. They want to know more. They want to know more. They may ask you what's on your mind a lot. They may ask you what you're thinking, and you may typically hate that, but the way they do it, it doesn't feel intrusive. It doesn't feel intrusive. It feels so loving, so easy. Yeah. And I feel like they have a real patience with you. Like when you're speaking, they're not talking over you. They're not rushing you. They're not... It's like with them, you feel like there's all the time in the world, you know? And you may lose time with them when you talk to them, or when you're dating them. Time just flies by, you know? You're like, how is it this late? How is it already midnight? Where did the time go? Because when you're with this person, again, it's just like everything else melts away. And so you guys just flow together so easily here. And it doesn't feel like any karmic connection that you experienced in the past. It feels like I'm hearing like a revelation. That's interesting. You know why maybe it's a revelation? Because it's like this feeling of, oh, I see why I had to go through those other connections or learn those other lessons. I see now why, or how, rather, how I was being prepared for this relationship, for this connection, for this person. I get it now. Like it's like you've been handed all these pieces to the puzzle, but everything comes together as you start to date and get to know this person and the connection develops. Yeah, it starts to make a lot more sense. Your past and their past, and like why you two fit together, why you were made to be together. Because it feels like two puzzle pieces. Like we fit. It like yeah, there's a sense of like this feels right. It just feels right. And there's no way of like rationalizing or like explaining it. It's a feeling. It's a feeling. And it's like the same way I have faith in the divine is the way I have faith in this. Like I can't explain it logically. It just is. And when something just is, you accept it, right? This is just how it is. Like I love you. And obviously, again, like speaking into the future here, and there's a feeling too of like, yeah, like I want to get to know more. I want to know everything about group 3, but I've waited this long for someone like group 3 to come along. So, you know, like it feels special. It feels special. And so whatever it takes to make it work, like that's what we'll do. That's what we'll do, because it's like a wish come true. Like whatever it takes, we'll sort it out. I keep hearing we'll sort it out. Yeah, so don't worry too much. You know, if there's some other influencing factor here, I wouldn't put too much concern towards it. I wouldn't worry too much about it. Not at this stage anyway. Because when two people are both committed to making something work, you have a pretty good chance of making it work, right? All right, what would they say to you now if they could? Group 3. What would this person say to you now if they could? We have, I wish I had treated you better. I wish I had treated you better. Can we clarify this? I can't stop thinking about you. Maybe they had a chance to say how they felt and they didn't. And now they regret that. Like there may be a feeling here of like, man, I missed my opportunity. I should have expressed that. I should have just said how I felt in that moment. Yeah. And for some of you too, this person may be a little bit, they may be a little bit hard on themselves. They don't second guess themselves to the same extent that group 2 did, but there may be this feeling of, was that good enough? You know, like because they have so much value that they put towards you. If you were dating them, they may like leave the first date like thinking, should I have like done something different, or should I have taken them to somewhere nicer? Should I have, like, there just may be this feeling of like, was that to the standard, or did I like meet all their expectations? You know, like they may put a lot of pressure on themselves in the beginning of like, was that good enough for them? Should I have done more? You know how, yeah, I hide behind material things. I wonder if you are happy without me. Yeah, there's that may be it. Like they may worry that that maybe you weren't as impressed by or taken in by the amount of money that they spent, and maybe they were wanting something, or maybe you were wanting something more in the beginning. Like it's kind of confusing, right? Because we're talking about you dating them, but maybe that hasn't quite happened yet, right? So if you were to go on a first date, maybe they're really flashy on the first date with the money, right? Because you did get, I think, the 9 of Pentacles, like in the very beginning. And maybe that just doesn't impress you. You're not a materialistic person, and maybe they weren't giving you that emotional depth in the very beginning, and maybe they were being flashy with the money or with certain status symbols or things like that to impress you, and then they quickly realize that doesn't work for group 3, so then they have to recalibrate. Yeah. Too many cards. It was just like 4 cards that got stuck like right in the little tray thing. Okay, it says, I don't react when people mention you. That's cute. Yeah, they don't want other people. There was I can't remember which group it was, but there was one group where they were like asking their friends for their opinion and stuff like that. Not with this person. Like, this person keeps their feelings on the low. Like, it really kind of feels like you too. Like, if you were to date this person, it feels like you guys would be like in this little love bubble. Yes, that is like a Real Housewives of New Jersey reference. But it would be like you guys are in a love bubble, you know? Like, they don't care. Like, if their friends like you, they don't care. If their family likes you, they don't care what anybody thinks. They know how they feel about you. And so, you know, and I think also here, you know, if you guys haven't, you know, expressed how you felt, you know, and you guys aren't anywhere near dating or anything like that, I feel like this person is trying to remain cool and aloof and not show that, you know, they're having all these feelings of like attracted, feeling strongly attracted towards you, or feeling infatuated by you or taken in by you. Like, they don't want to show all that, you know. All right, this person may have some pride. They may have some pride. I will say that about them. You know, I didn't do this for the other groups, but I wish I had my astro dice, but I don't. And I don't think I have my astrology cards. I think they're packed up. But you know what? Why don't we try to see if we can get some zodiac signs for them with the tarot? I'll use the Alice tarot deck. Let's just see. Because group 1 was like fire sign energy. Group 2 was like earth. Let's see. We've got the Knight of Pentacles. So they could be Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. They don't have to be, but if that gives you confirmation that you chose the right group, then that's awesome. Let's get some more possibilities here. I want to get just one more card, just because there's a lot of you watching. Oh no, Page of Pentacles. So yeah, they could be an earth sign, okay? If they are, confirmation that you chose the right group. Bottom of the deck we have the Star, so they could also be an Aquarius. Okay. Group 3, this was your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful, and I'm wishing you the very, very best, and I will see you in my next one.